Well, I went on a trip as well.
Yeah.
While you were gone.
Tell us about that.
It wasn't nearly as amazing or exciting as yours,
I
but
beg to differ.
it was fun in its own right. So we went up to Minneapolis, of course, where the Vikings are located.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't there for the Vikings. We went to Great Wolf Lodge, which to most probably doesn't seem like an amazing destination, but we had promised our kids that we would take them to a water park hotel for spring break, and then we all got sick. So we couldn't go. So this was kind of the makeup trip for that. Mm-hmm. And I will say, this is not a sponsor, but Great Wolf Lodge is pretty awesome. And if you're looking for a completely indoor water park hotel, have you guys ever been?
No. So were you in the Dells, or is there a Great Wolf in Minnesota?
There is one. It's right just south of the MSP airport in Minneapolis.
Good to know. I did not know that.
And it's less than 10 minutes away from the other place that I went, which I'll get to in a minute.
All right.
But Great Wolf Lodge. I would highly recommend it. You don't have to leave the hotel if you don't want
awesome.
to.
Yeah.
You swim all day for free. It's included in your room charge. They have like 2 or 3 restaurants. They have a Dunkin' Donuts that you can get coffee at when you wake up in the morning. Mm-hmm. They have a couple bars around. So you can just chill at the hotel all day.
Sounds exactly like Cancun to me.
It's just all indoors.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And the pool, the water park is super cool. Like, we went down a slide the first time we went, and I have a 5-year-old who's like probably 40 pounds dripping wet, and a 7-year-old, and the 5-year-old, she's just big enough to like go on all of the slides.
Oh, that's nice.
We went down one of the fastest slides. The first thing we did, we didn't even just go in the water. We just let's go for a slide right away. And we went down this slide, and I went down first, and I'm this, and I just had water in my face the whole time, and I'm thinking while I'm going down,
oh no,
she's gonna be freaked out.
Yeah.
She comes down the slide, and she just had the biggest smile on her face, and then we were like, all right, this was worth it.
You did it. You did it, Dad.
So it was a lot of fun. I paid way too much for an American Coors Light.
Oh yeah.
Poolside, but it was nice to not have to leave the pool area. Mm-hmm. And there was a little kids area pool that was all shallow, and we could my wife and I could hang out and have a drink and watch the kids play, and we didn't have to supervise them directly, which was nice. But anyways, that was only a one-night trip. We did all that. We should get Great Wolf to sponsor us. That'd be fun.
I'd go to Great Wolf. That'd
give
be amazing.
A glowing review.
Yeah.
Reach out to us.
We'll clip it out. We'll tag them.
Reach out to us. We're interested.
Yeah.
Great Wolf. But just down the road, just down 494 from Great Wolf Lodge is TCO.
Nice.
In Eagan.
And if you don't know, you're listening to a Vikings podcast. We've mentioned very little about the Minnesota Vikings so far today. But TCO in Eagan, that is where the Vikings training facility is, their daily operations, where their training camp will be every year. And there's also one other attraction in that whole campus area.
Yeah. And that's where we went. We went to the Vikings Museum.
Yeah. I haven't been. I want to go really bad.
It's really expensive.
Oh.
In all honesty, it's expensive for what it is. It's not huge.
Okay.
And it's a museum for a professional football team that's only been in existence since 1960.
Yeah, but there's some history there.
There's definitely history. Yeah. But it's not it's not this huge museum that would take you hours to walk through. We were there for a half an hour, and we paid $40.
Okay.
Granted, I had a 5-year-old and 7-year-old in tow. They weren't as interested in stuff as I was, and my wife was getting kind of annoyed because she's having to manage the squirrely kids while I'm putting my hand on footballs that have Carl Eller's handprint in it, and Chris Carter's and Alan Page, and
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool. So every player that's in the Hall of Fame has a platinum football that has their handprint depressed into it.
That's cool.
So you can put your hand on the football of these guys and see
Fran
how
Tarkenton.
big their hands were.
That's awesome.
My hand was actually surprisingly close to Fran Tarkenton's.
Really?
In size.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then they had some like life size, like they still had Kirk up. He's like what, 6'1" or 6'2", I think. And, Justin Jefferson and Christian Darrisaw and a couple other guys. They had like not like their hands, but just like a big life size picture of them and how tall they are, and you can stand next to them and this is how tall I am compared to so
Christian
and so.
Darrisaw, yeah.
They had a nice little exhibit for each stadium.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
They had a Met Stadium kind of nook, and they had 2 seats from the original Met Stadium there.
That's awesome.
They had a whole bunch of like old relics from the place, like old ticket stubs and pictures and stuff, kind of just remembering Met Stadium.
Okay.
And then you walked a little farther down, you had the Metrodome.
Mm-hmm.
They actually did have not a big display, but a small display for TCF Bank.
Nice.
Which I thought was kind of cool, even though the Vikings only played there for 2 years.
I mean, it's a part of the history, yeah.
It is. And then at the very end of kind of that section, you had a full U.S. Bank Stadium. They had a full, like, it was probably this big, like 3D replica, probably the architects, like.
So a lot of people listen when you say this big. You're talking like 3 or 4 foot long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Good catch. I forget that sometimes people don't watch us.
Hey, if you know what, just watch us on YouTube and Spotify. So that was a good little plug there. I know what you're doing, Ev.
Anyways, the Vikings Museum. If I could go back alone or maybe with someone like you, I think it would be much more worth the price of admission.
Okay. So you think about $20 an adult ish?
Yeah. I think it's $15 an adult.
Okay.
So.
And I was going to ask
like
too. So you said if you went back with like me or somebody, I know that you had some young Vikings fans with you, which kind of hurried you along. Half hour, that's pretty quick. Could you have spent more time there?
I personally could have spent more, but my family, we were maxed out and we needed to go. Mm-hmm. So we went to the gift shop, and if you look under the Skol Hop helmet there,
I'm afraid.
Gift.
Is it going to bite me?
No.
No? All right. Lift up the helmet.
It's actually, I'm just kidding. It's nothing super special. That's just a card they threw in the bag, but I thought it was cool.
I like it.
It says Skol on it, and it's kind of embossed on one side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Got a keychain.
With your name on it.
With my name on it. That's awesome.
So there you go.
All right.
I don't know if you have one of those yet.
I don't have one of these. This is awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we got a window decal. It says Skol Vikings.
So there you go.
This is pretty cool. Thanks, Ev.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I can't go to the Vikings Museum and not get you anything.
I mean, I went to Cancun and I didn't get you anything.
Well,
but
Cancun isn't nearly as cool as the Vikings Museum, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. This might be a laptop sticker. This might be a car window sticker.
Yeah,
We'll
put it
figure
on
it
your
out.
car. Put it on your computer.
Yeah. I don't usually put things on my car, but Vikings things I totally would. I've also been meaning to make up some Skol Hop window decals.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool too.
I would be interested in one of those.
Yeah, maybe we'll send out the bat signal to my wife, who's really good at that. She made the decals for our custom mini helmet for the Skol Hop too. If you're watching us, thank you, Ev. This is awesome.
There you go. Skol.
Skol.